There we go. What's going on, everyone? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Oh no, it's frozen. Why is it frozen? Oh, maybe this is why. Maybe. That's why? Hold on. What's going on? What's going on? Why is it doing that? So, not a camera guy. I can never get this stuff figured out. Okay, alright. Pause 1 sec. 1 sec. 1 sec. Let's see. Alright, let's see if we can figure this out. I think it disconnected, that's why. Of course it does. Of course it disconnects. Let's see. This way. Yep, alright. Let's see if it shows up there. Why does it do this? Oh, no hail to me. I'm no one to hail to. I mean, unless you really want to, I guess you can. But obviously, I'm not much because I can't even get this stupid thing to work. All right, bear with us. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not good with this side of it. I need someone that I can use for help whenever this stuff happens. Why is it doing this? No. I'll just get this to plug in. Oh my goodness. So much going on. You guys have no idea. Right there. Let's put it here. Let's see if that works. Oh goodness. Oh, there we go. Okay. Got that now. Okay, so now let's see. Can we get this to work? Alright. Got that one. Hey, we're up. What's going on, everyone? Can you see me? Can't quite see it yet. There it is. Oh, okay. Hail is just the way we say hi in the chat. Oh, why is that like that? Okay, we don't need to. Oh, no. Why is that like that? No. Let's get rid of that. We don't need it twice. Move that chat box. So we got the other one. What's going on, everyone? First off, how does the picture look? Because we have a new webcam. There you are. We got a new webcam. So I'm not just using my my phone camera anymore. Although I want to make this a little bit warmer. There we go. I'm not just using my phone camera anymore. I got a little bit of a dinkier one, and then I'm gonna get a better one soon. But I wanted to stop doing that because the quality just kept getting worse and worse. And I'll be honest with you, I accidentally dropped my phone in some water. Tried to use a backup one. And it didn't last a couple streams and not work very good. So we're rocking with this one now. It looks great. From what I can see, it looks way better than the other ones have. How does it look on, like, say it's clear, is it better? I hope it's better. Let me know if it's better. I'm really hoping that it looks better than it did because it was not vibing for me before. And I can't now. Better. Alright guys, I'm wearing my glasses tonight for two reasons. One, trying to get a little bit more used to it just in general, I'm not gonna lie. But also because I didn't have time to put my contacts in before the stream started. So I had to make sure that I could get here in time because I only had 2 minutes and I was still late. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because here we go live whether or not we're late. Even if we're late, we still go live and we still participate. And we let everyone in except for Sundays sometimes. Usually we don't. But we will make sure this Sunday. I said it a lot. I swear to God, I almost thought like that might become a new meme for us here. It's just like kind of how we have like if you ever watch Jimmy Kimmel, how they have like how they have like the Matt Damon meme. I thought that'd be funny to just be like, oh, we're gonna see y'all Sunday, and you never see me Sunday. But no, we won't do that. Can I raise this up? Yeah, there we go. All right, I'm excited, guys. I'm excited to get to talking because you know what? I have still not been keeping up with the feeds as much as I would like. This time of season, it's hard, and there's really not a lot going on in the feeds. To be quite honest, that glare is getting really bad. It goes off. There's really not a lot going on in the feeds. To be honest, I mean, for the most part, most of the stuff in the episode is it at least kind of shows you the volume of the game talk. And it's kind of funny too because the moment we go from the volume has kind of dropped suddenly of game talk. Instead of the episode giving us more game because they have less to try and puzzle piece and figure out, there's very limited. We could see more of the percentage wise. They're just like, okay, they're talking less game in the house, so even though we have plenty of game to fill the episode, let's just sprinkle in a bunch of filler. I will say, I know a lot of people don't really care. And again, I'm here for like the game aspect, game first, purist, whatever, yada yada. I do think that I like the what do you plan on doing with the money? Because yes, it's all about the game, but you have that end goal, right? So for me, I'm all about just like I always said from the beginning. If I were to go on there, yeah, I want the money, but I'm going there for the title first. And for me, like going in with just going for the money, like it's hard to win. Like some people are competitive just for the prize. I want the title, but you still have the money. So like, I don't mind them having the like, what do you guys want to do with the money if you win? I think those are great. And really, there's no way to spin it. I mean, it's based on what they're saying they want to do. So some might agree, some might be like, oh, that's stupid or whatever. I didn't dislike any of the responses we got tonight from them when they were talking about it. Let's catch up. Crazy said it was good. He said feeds are super boring when it's down towards the end. That's true. They really are. Like I said, I struggle. Why is it still showing that? I thought I had gotten rid of that. I always struggle towards this part of it just because, like you said, there's really just not a lot going on, and so it's a lot harder to. Get this. We're gonna fix that later. We'll make sure that is fixed for coming up. But yeah, so it's a lot harder to keep up, or to not to keep up, but to stay glued on. And props to everyone that does. Our friend Tom over at TV Talks Tom, he's still pumping out videos every day. I don't believe he's missed a single episode or a single update. I'm pretty sure he's gone strong. Made it every single day of the season, unless there was just one that he missed that I can't think of. But I'm pretty sure he's made every single day. And another friend of ours over at Ori Streams, he's pumping those out like crazy. And because I've said a lot. I love watching RHAP, their recaps with Taryn. But the one thing with them is that while Taryn does do all of that work himself, he also kind of brings people on. And so if there's something he missed, they can kind of fill in. Usually it's the other way around. Usually it's something the other person missed. But he is extremely. He's the best at what he does. But he's kind of at a point where it's not as much with him where, with all these other guys, they are 24/7. It's just them. They are all on their own. And so, they don't have that backup if something does kind of, if they miss something or didn't catch something or there's another perspective that someone wants to catch. That does lead to longer form videos. I know for recaps, most people like this shorter, condensed version. And I think that's why some of our friends have taken off, because people are just, I wish that I was able to have the sheer amount of volume that these guys have for feed updates. And I tried earlier in the season, but like I said before, working full time, having a family, it doesn't really give me that ability. So I really. I envy those that are able to do that, but at the same time, I don't know how much I could stay. I don't know that I could stick with it, to be quite frank. As much as I love it, every single day. Of course, that's part of my personality type too, but that'd be tough for me. Crazy Man says Ori's alright. The other two have extreme slants in their rundowns. Yeah, I mean, I do think that I think everyone's got their own opinions of who they like. If we're talking about Taryn, I remember when I first started listening to him I think first season I found, because I had known of RHAP for several years, all the way back since 2014. That's what got me started wanting to do this, to be quite honest. And so I've been following them for that long. But when I started following or noticed Taryn was in season 19, and at least early on, he did a really good job at being like, I don't. He would always say, I don't care who wins. Uh, I just like the social strategy and kind of the watching the lab rats type of thing. That's not the word how he called it, but I can't think of. I can't think of what I'm trying to think of. Anyway, but and so he would kind of mention he didn't really have a favorite. Now he's kind of loosened up a little bit. Where you're like, well, maybe I do favorite this person, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with even if he does, even if you do have a favorite, trying to appear unbiased for the sake of journalism. Because what news anchors, I'm sure they have opinions on stuff that they watch and or they're reporting on, but you have to give the appearance of I just said it, being unbiased. But no matter what, I feel like no matter how hard you try and be unbiased, whenever you have you feel strongly about a subject one way or the other, I feel like it can be a little bit challenging to be 100%. I I like watching everyone. I watch all three of those guys. And Crazy Mad says, I love watching Late Night Crew. What about and Cliff Hog? Yeah, I watch Late Night Crew when my kids aren't around. when I first found him this year too. I found everyone besides Tom. I'd known Tom, or not known him, but I watched him. Gosh, since season. I don't know if it was. I think it was 21, because I think he started. I think Tom started in season 20. So I've been watching him since season 21, I think, and then kind of watched him off and on for a few years, and then last season I watched him quite a bit, and so when I reached out to him this year, I he's you know again, I know some people have different opinions on different updaters, and that's perfectly fine. But for one thing, I will say, 100% is that Tom has been a huge friend and nothing but supportive, and I still talk to him regularly. And so he also has been, regardless of, in my opinion, regardless of whether or not you agree with their take. Or not, I feel like the sheer fact of just watching these guys that are on their own solo, and again, I hope none of this comes across as shade towards Taryn or that crew that have more people, because not at all, in any way, shape, or form. I just feel like, whenever you have these guys that are one-man bands, a lot, and again, not that Taryn isn't for the most part, but these one-man bands, it's truly impressive to see the quality of content that at least the channel itself is putting out, and the people running it. And so I have nothing but mad respect. And I would definitely, like I said, I'd love to be on there. All right, I've been rambling enough about all that stuff. So where do we start tonight? Well, I know for me, like I said, I haven't been keeping up with the feed. So watching kind of the episode as it airs for the last couple weeks is where I've been getting stuff. Again, I still follow like all of the update spoiler Twitter pages and Facebook and all that, so I get clips here and there. But I do keep up a little bit, but I don't have a lot of details. So I actually, for one of the first times in a long time, did not know going into the episode tonight who the nominations were. That was a bit of a news to me going into it. I will say, I'm just gonna I don't know why I didn't even think to talk about it earlier, but right now, the veto, I had heard something about Monty not being able to play, and I thought it was utterly ridiculous that was the case. After watching the episode in the context of the challenge itself and how that reflected the reason why there was a timer, I still think that it was crap, to be honest. I did not like it at all. Why is this? Whatever. I didn't like it at all, to be honest. I think that, how often have we had them have something where they're like, oh, there's a timer on how fast you have to get there, and like I feel like that's saying that that's part of the competition, which I guess is fine, but I think it's ridiculous the fact that he is HOH and he has no ability. I mean, and here's the ridiculous part, okay? So I don't know for a fact that this is the case specifically with Monty. I don't know that. What I do know though is that every season, whenever they select their cast members, they select them to fit a specific character, and they're like, we like the character you're portraying for us right now in these interviews. We like that. We want that to be what we have on the show. They do not like you to deviate from that at all. Okay, so like earlier in the season, we didn't see Kyle without his glasses very much at all, and then he finally got to wear them. I think sometimes they'll let you kind of slowly adapt in certain ways if it's just not working for you. Contacts may just. I think he even said something at one point. They're just not as saying he tried. I think he was probably trying just to get on there to go with contacts. But Monty, this whole time, has been wearing contacts. We see him with glasses from time to time, but for the most part, he wears contacts. That's part of his daily routine. First thing he does when he gets up, if he doesn't want to grab his and also too, he has no idea what type of challenge it is. So he might feel like he's in a better position if he does wear contacts. And personally, I don't think that's a upper hand to someone that does have to wear glasses that can't wear contacts, because you could train yourself to do that. So, if he feels like he's not going to be able to perform at his peak while having glasses on his face, or it might be falling down the whole time, that's part of how he prepares. And that's for his day, for the comps, for everything. So the fact that he couldn't and he also too, I know he mentioned on the feeds, he said something about, he was trying to put on a different pair of shorts that were again allowing him to perform better. These aren't upper hands that everyone else can't have. And he's all the way up at the top too. So yeah, the stairway leads right to the door, but if he's trying to finish up, he's trying to run down those stairs without tripping down because he's in such a hurry, right? So that whole thing annoyed the crap out of me, to be quite frank. I'm not a fan of them making that type of rule, especially, and here's the thing, if this were just earlier in the season when there's still plenty of people to play, I could maybe get over it, but the fact is that we are down to the wire. We don't need to be having people missing from competitions. It's just, that's unnecessary. It's completely unnecessary, and I'm annoyed at the whole situation that they decided to go that route. It grinds my gears, to be quite frank. But yeah, so that whole thing just annoyed the crap out of me. But whenever we first come back from the episode, we do see that Monty talks about how he doesn't care who goes home because pretty much either person's going to be on his side, and he feels safe no matter what. Brittany says that she wants to clarify with Monty about some of the plans, because she's like, look, I don't really know what happened last week, and now all of a sudden now, like, he's throwing me in the bus saying that I've been trying to spill stuff. All I was trying to do was save him, and to my knowledge, he was not going home. So what the heck's going on? Everyone, including my ally who just got voted out, knew what was going on except for me, right? And that can be a very nerve-wracking position to be in, because you're like, okay, well, apparently I'm in trouble, and my one ally just got out ahead of me after I was just kind of told I was in trouble. Now they're just got out ahead of me. It's like, what's going on? It's like cutting the head off, and the rest of the body's like, whoa, something, just got completely blindsided. So that's a very uncomfortable, very unsettling position for her to be in. And now all of a sudden, she's like, well, I got to try and figure this out. So she's going to try and figure out and talk with Monty and see what happened there. Crazy Matt says, I'm not a fan either. I'm assuming you're talking about the veto comp. Yeah, it's not the whole thing. I mean, it's within their right. They have every right to do that if they wish. But I think that it's a very stupid decision, and they made a very poor choice, and I'm not happy about it. And I'm the one that they should be listening to. They should be paying attention to me, right? I think so. I have good ideas. I, I, I kid you not. I could have solved so many of their problems this season, like especially now, because I've been watching from like a studying strategic angle for a long time, but like especially this season, I'm like kind of forced to do it even more. And I've just been studying so much of this where I'm like, you could have done this and you could have done that, right? These people have been doing it for decades. They kept the show on air, so I don't know. Maybe there's something I don't know. But here's the thing, right? And and something a lot of people have to keep in mind is that the Twitter, BB Twitter, and us streamers and recappers, whatever, we are an extremely small portion of uh, of the actual fan base, right? The vocality that you're hearing, while it might be the majority of what you're hearing, that's not necessarily the majority of the people watching that are saying that. That being said, even production should still be able to see from this, like, hey, you're making you're making mistakes doing this. You should be doing this over this. You guys are ruining the game. But until more people voice that, they're going to just look at the viewership numbers and be like, okay, well, our views are on the same. Which I don't know. I don't pay attention to the viewers. I really should, because that is kind of an important aspect to the production and how they make some decisions. But I I don't. But even then, I still feel like you have to at least pay attention to what they're saying a little bit, and not concerning yourself with any of the crap, right? Because there's a lot of crap, and they shouldn't have to subject themselves to that specifically. But I do feel like you at least have to, whenever you're in that position, pay attention to what you're asking. I mean, every production is asking for feedback. Now, whether they actually care about it or not is one thing, but if you're asking for it, you should at least be paying attention to it. And so I'm hoping that they can start trying to make some of those adjustments soon, because the way that they do stuff right now is just all kinds of backwards. Crazy Man says, "Yeah, Twitter's a terrible place." It is. It is not a good place. I don't like being on there very much. I am, but there's reasons for that. And that's why for me, I'm like, I'm not the type of person that's going to sit here and be like, oh, I can change the world and make it a better place. I feel like the world's going to be what it wants to be, and that's not what I'm striving to do by any means. But I also feel like I can at least make my community the way I want it, for the most part. And so, if we're gonna be in these interacting circles, I can at least try and get us, make set the tone for how we are here. I'm sorry, we're literally talking about Twitter, and I'm trying to sign in to my Twitter because I got signed out when I got my phone wet. There we go. All right, just trying to keep up with everything, because we talk a lot of crap about Twitter, and now we're going to be hypocrites. Anyway, but yeah, that's kind of my take on all that. All right, where do we leave off here? So Monty basically he talks to Brittany. He says like he feels like he's on the outs, and that people, she wasn't including him in conversations, and she kind of agreed. She was like, yeah, maybe I should be talking to you more. And so Brittany is like, she realizes that through talking to him, all of the info that she has given to Turner has leaked to Monty, and that's kind of where a lot of this is coming from. So she's starting to get a little bit nervous from that aspect. And then we have a Turner is dirty scene. Turner cleans a room. Turner wants everyone to be proud of him for cleaning his room. And one of the realest things that Alyssa has said all season. I actually loved her in this scene. She's like, sure. He's a grown man. I'm not going to be sitting here telling you how proud I am of you for cleaning your room. Good job. Maybe do the dishes or do your dishes, and I'll give you a little bit more credit there. And then I sat there and I'm like, but I don't do as much of the cleaning as I should. But when she said the dishes thing, I'm not gonna lie, I did feel kind of personally attacked because I don't. It's not that I don't want to do the. I mean, I don't want to. It's not that I won't do the dishes. It's that I'm very, very, very detailed with those types of things, like more than I should be. So it takes me a lot longer. I know how much of an excuse that sounds. It's the truth. So much so that my wife's just like, just you take too long, I will do it. So it's not a I'm just very but I mean even like it's not that she's not good, like she's very good at it, but even when she does, she's like, you do get more of this stuff than I do because I'm very detailed. So but if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it slow and steady. That's how I am. So anyway, I did feel a little personally attacked. I don't like doing them. They're gross. It creeps me out. Like I don't like touching like folded up tissue. Like even if it's clean, if it's wadded up, it makes me weirded out. Wet tissue is like the grossest thing. I don't like it. It's disgusting. But I also feel like going around the house and making everyone like applaud you. Like, dude, just a few weeks ago you were talking crap on Jasmine because she wanted everyone to go around the house and name their favorite thing about her. Not the same thing. I get it. It's not the same thing, but it's like, come on, man. Goodness. Ugh, I'm all out of cream. I'm drinking black coffee. This is terrible. Ugh. Ugh. I was in a habit of drinking black coffee straight for a while. I was trying to do keto. Obviously, that didn't work out. So, uh, I did get adjusted to it back then, but not anymore. It's not good. Anyway, Monty basically he's talking to Taylor, and he basically says, "Listen, if Brittany or Alyssa come down, uh, obviously Turner's going up. He's got to be the guy to go up." And then he comes back to Turner and tells Turner the same thing about Taylor. So it appears that Monty is siding with Turner based on their conversation, but he's definitely trying to keep keep everyone in line. We get a segment we were talking about earlier. Monty basically says, what would everyone do with the money? And it was kind of a weird thing. I like the fact that they had that position that way. It was kind of cool. I'm wondering if production said, "Hey, you should all talk about this," and then they just all started. I don't know if that's what they did. That's definitely what it came across as. But he's like, "What does everyone do with money?" And Taylor says, Taylor's response was interesting. I definitely thought she's like, "I want to give myself freedom so that I can give my mom her freedom." And she doesn't go into a lot of detail, which that's fine. She's, we're not owed, personal details like that. But it did sound like a very interesting situation, and one that she was struggling with. And so, yeah, she's basically like, I want to buy, my dream is to just live the average American dream. I just want to buy a car, a house, and be able to give my mom what she needs so she can kind of do her thing and not have to, almost like she was trying to say, my mom's stuck with me and I want to help solve that. And so it was really an interesting but a nice response that we got from her. Alyssa also talks about how she would want to retire her mom and help her with that because she's helped her a lot, and so she wants to do that for her. And then Monty says that he wants to help. He said something about setting up his parents. I missed exactly, but setting up his parents in a better spot and fund his brothers. I forget. It was some type of business. I want to say real estate, but I don't know if that's right. Is it attorney? Is Monty's brother the one that's going to be an attorney? I think. I don't know. Well, I know Joseph's brother was also going to be an attorney. I don't know, but anyway, he wants to help his family too. Brittany says Brittany's was very very sweet. She says that her and her husband, basically, she says that her and her husband have been trying to have a baby, and they have not been able to so far by natural means because of the condition she has. So she mentions that she wants to either adopt or do is it IVF? I think it's IVF, IBF, IVF. One of the two. I'm sorry, I don't know. But she mentions how expensive that is, and basically she wants to use the money to have a kid, and that's what her and her husband are dreaming of. And I was sitting there watching this because she's like, I'm so close, and I can almost feel it, and I'm like, and I'm sitting there telling myself like, yeah, you definitely could get it. Like, she could 100% win, and like the more like I still feel like if Monty's gone, and like if I was a juror and Monty's gone, Brittany has my vote personally. Uh, well, maybe I mean it'd still be a little bit of a draw between her and Taylor, but I do think Brittany gets it just because of some of the work that she's been putting in towards this end game and kind of setting herself up. She kind of saw herself in a bad position now that Michael's gone, and made the effort to get herself out of that position, at least a little bit. And so she's a lot better off now than what I would have thought she would have been a few weeks ago had I tried to predict this happening. But yeah, so she says that that's what they're wanting, what she wants to do with her and and her family. And I think was that other one? I think so. Oh no, Turner says that he wants to help his family as well and buy himself or buy a ring and a wedding for his girlfriend or his fiance. Was it? Is it just his girlfriend or his fiance? I can't remember at this point. Yeah. Crazy Matt says she can win, but she needs to vote out Taylor this week. Her win path is sitting next 100%. And at this point, I don't think that. I do think, because I know I said before that I don't know if anyone that takes Alyssa is necessarily going to win. I think she beats Alyssa. I think there is a chance that she could beat Turner. If she was kind of put in that position due to no fault of her own, I feel like she could. But I feel like if she makes it all the way there, taking him, for some reason, I don't see that happening. And I do feel like the person she's most likely to take is Taylor. So, you know, it's I don't think she's going to. Um, but me personally, even at this point, I would still give my vote to Monty over her. But after Monty, I think she gets my vote. I think Monty. The thing with Monty is he's done a lot more overall this season. She's kind of doing a lot in a condensed amount of time. Some of it, some stronger, in my opinion, a little bit stronger than what Monty's done. But Monty has still made some very strong moves and has set the tone a lot. And I really feel like he right now in the existing game is the best player. This is kind of how I felt in 22 once Tyler left because I was a huge Tyler fan and it was from 20 and then in 22 at the beginning it was really nice watching him and rooting for him and then you started to see a little bit of his cracks and his like okay sort of have issues and then he picked back up a little bit so I was hoping to root for him but he still wasn't at 100% and so I was like well I mean I was once he was gone I was pulling for Cody at that time that's not really what I wanted because I wasn't super impressed with Cody but then that end game was just I think he won it throughout that end game. And that's kind of how I feel like right now with Monty. Not that I didn't already like Monty, because I've been saying all season I love Monty. But from a strategic angle, he wasn't the highest for me. especially early on in the season, I had Kyle above Monty earlier in the season. I feel like Kyle was doing a lot more, making a lot better moves earlier in the season. I don't think that that's how it ended up. I feel like towards the end, I feel like Kyle really screwed himself, and Monty was doing a lot better job. Hi, Mona. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining tonight. Uh, so yeah, I do think that's kind of the position Monty's in. I'm hoping that he's able to get to the end, but if not, I don't want to see Alyssa go home. I want to see Alyssa stay and her try and pull her in. I had to think of who who it was. I want to see Taylor go because I want to watch and see what this final four can look like between Monty and Turner versus Alyssa and Brittany. I think it'd be very interesting because at this point, again, in my opinion, Monty's over Brittany, and I do feel like competition-wise, he still probably beats her out in most. But there's a few comp sets that she could win, and if she took that over, she could definitely she could get to the end with her and Alyssa. I don't see it happening, but who knows. Also, too, I am really excited because so okay, so not this Sunday, but next Sunday's finale. So tomorrow is just a regular single. That brings us down to 4. So we're probably going to have, I don't know. I'm hoping we have an old-fashioned fast forward week where we have, I guess Sunday would be the HOH and the veto. And then that next Wednesday we would have the HOA, no, and the eviction. Everything would happen by then, I think. And then on Wednesday we would have like the HOH and then maybe the veto, and then we would have, or no, probably just the HOH. There's a lot that would go on. They used to do that all the time. I can't remember the exact structure at this point. It's been so long. But I'm excited because I think that, we have to cram a lot in. Maybe my math is probably wrong, but I think that the way they're doing it could be. Hold on, let me bring my calendar up because I was trying to think of this earlier. Where's my calendar at? Okay, so it's not this. Yeah, so it's still 2 weeks away. So okay, so no, next week won't be crazy. So we'll have regular eviction this Thursday, regular eviction next Thursday. Oh, okay. No, I'm getting too far ahead of myself. What they could do is they could do some type of fast forward week, or even a double to bring it down to 3, and then they could go back and give us a longer amount of time for the jury questioning. And you know what? I wouldn't be entirely surprised if they did do that. I mean, I would be, but if they were going to do that, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it now, because Julie herself said at the beginning of the season, Sharon Tharp interviewed her, and she said something about this, and Julie straight up said, "Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like the house guests need to have more time to go over jury questioning." I think the question was, "Do you think we'd ever see it go back?" And her response was, "I don't know." I can't remember so far. I think she said basically, "I don't know," and that she is hoping, or she at least feels like there needs to be some type of more time given to them so they could, actually have questions answered. Because as everyone knows right now, they have like no time to get any questions in. The whole jury questioning segment is just a joke, to be quite frank, and they really need to fix it. They need to go back. Like, don't get me wrong, I get the wanting to have the big final moment, right? But like on finale night, they want to have that visual of that last HOH. But I'm gonna have to go back because as much as I've watched past seasons, as much as I've seen everything, I kind of struggle trying to remember what the format was because they had that final HOH, and then they still had like 3 or 4 days. I think maybe the finale was always on a Sunday back then, maybe. And so they would do that, and then they would have uh, the final eviction on um, Thursday. They would have a Wednesday episode where they did all the questioning, and then, or no, no, I think they just had that an extended episode. So they would do the questioning, show all of it on Sunday. So they're really just missing that last comp. And as we know, like they are super comp focused. Like that's all they care about. So I definitely understand why we're not getting it, but I don't agree with it. Um, I still think that you can make an extremely compelling episode with just the jury questioning. Um, or without having that final HOH competition. I get it, but you can still have it live. You can still have the drama of that because everyone knows, if you did it that way, if you had the Thursday uh, be the final eviction, right? Let's go back to the calendar. So we have tomorrow is regular eviction, okay? Then we have a regular week, and then next Thursday is the final one. That's still 4. Yeah, they would still have to cram it. But I mean, again, if they did Thursday, if they did an eviction, then did a fast forward week, and had it pre-recorded set for like Sunday, they can do that, and then have another eviction. So have an eviction Sunday, have another one Thursday, and then that would bring you down to the final 2. So next Thursday would be complete final eviction, and then that following Sunday would be the finale, right? Who's gonna miss like that final eviction? Like I guess like there's some people that be like, I'll catch up, but I feel like most of your fan base that's gonna watch finale is gonna watch that last eviction. At least once you explain to them how you've corrected your format. They kind of dug themselves into a hole at this point. But that's what I'm hoping. That's not what we're gonna get. It's not at all. That's not what we're gonna get. But that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we have Thursday eviction, Sunday eviction. I will take the missing feats because there's not a lot that we're missing at this point. I would much rather have the jury be able to question the house guests, to get the answers that they've been looking for, and and not have to go this entire time, try and cram a bunch of questions that the house guests that are asking them aren't even asking them that question. They're like predetermined questions that they all came up with, which we all know is crap. Like they all kind of have a general idea of what they're wanting to say, and so the questions are written up, and it's crap. But they got to fix it, and they definitely could. They have room for it. Are they going to? No, probably not. If the oh, well, so I wonder. God, they're gonna cram a ton. No, are we just skipping because normally what the Sunday episode is the recap, like the season recap. So we must just be missing that altogether this season, which I'm fine with. I skip that episode 100%. I don't even watch it. Like if they do a recap episode, we probably won't even do a recap of the recap because I can't stand it. Let's see, where am I catching up at? Oh, okay, I see. Anyway, anyway, so yeah, I'm hoping that that's the format that we get to have, but at the same time, I don't know. I know that's not what to expect. The best thing that I'm going to take out of this is that hopefully we skip the recap episode because we don't need the filler. We don't need Jeff Schroeder or whoever they decide to bring in this year to come in and interview them and take them down memory lane. because they need someone to help them remember, someone that wasn't even there. I mean, you can make the argument that they can see everything, but they didn't even watch like half the episodes. Oh, that's brutal. That is brutal. Let's see. Where do we leave off? Yeah, so I went from Turner talking about his stuff, and I decided to explain the veto. Like, yeah, we've already ranted about that. It's stupid. They shouldn't have done it. They don't know how to. They don't know how to operate this show, obviously, and they just completely screwed the last, second to last veto. And also too, like, why did production feel the need to put their hands so far up Monty's butt and make him a puppet that they, before the commercial break, had this whole explanation, and then went to commercial break, came back, and had a whole another explanation, like another like recap of what they just said. It's like, dude, we get it, but at the same time, they're not just doing that. They're being like, I messed up. They're making him be like, I messed up. I made a mistake. I took too long. No, they screwed you out of that. You should not be expected to have to play in a competition without your contacts when you have to have contacts to see. It's it drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. Anyway, yeah, they just keep blaming him over and over. I did like the comp personally. I thought it was a fairly good comp. I like I like the design. I thought it was very capable. I don't know that for sure that Monty would have won even if he did play, and I'm kind of glad that Brittany did because it's going to at least give us some more of a showdown. Now she may not. I don't know. Maybe she will be able to pull Taylor in long enough. We'll see tomorrow probably that Taylor and Monty have gotten fairly close, and that's all we'll say with that. We'll just leave that there. Closer than, if you don't already know what's going on, closer than you think. A lot closer. So I don't know that she's going to be able to still pull her in, but we'll see. We'll find out. Let's see. Where we go? Yeah. So Brittany, she tells Taylor that basically she's gonna pull herself down. Monty's gonna have to choose between you and Turner, and he's gonna have to pick one of the two of you, right? So Taylor's like, well, obviously it's gonna be me. She's like, he's not gonna make that stance against Turner. He's too scared to do it, so obviously it's gonna be me that goes up. Brittany says that she wants Taylor to stay and wants to have the votes to send Turner home. Brittany said that she's going to try and work on getting Turner as a renom. So she goes and talks to Monty and basically tells Monty that if he puts Taylor up, it shows him that they are against her and Taylor, and that she's nervous because she still has the slightest bit of concern that he might be working with Turner still. And he's like, well, why would you say that? Like, where's that coming from? And she's like, I don't know, I mean, I'm a little nervous, and so I'm hoping that you can put him up and prove to us that you're not with us, because basically I don't know what's gonna happen if you don't. You better put him up, because I don't know if I'll be able to keep you safe if you don't. And Monty's straight up like, I'm not digging the suburb mob boss. Yeah, mob boss. He says he's not digging the suburban mob boss portrayal that she's trying to put on. He said he's not digging it. He's like, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and you're not gonna try and scare me out of it. Again, I don't like. He's right for that in that aspect, but also it is going to be just Turner, Brittany, and Taylor next week, and my money would probably be. I mean, Turner could definitely win. If I had to put money on someone, I'd say like it just depends on the type of comp. I know who said. I think Crazies earlier said it could be endurance. I don't know if it will be. I don't know if it'll be endurance, because they're gonna have part one of the final 3 HOH be endurance, most likely, unless they change it. Actually, I think last year or the year before that it was something different. I think it might have been something different. But anyway, you're gonna have most likely that final 3 be endurance. So I don't know that this one will be endurance. If it is, then yes, I would for sure give Taylor my vote to be the winner for that. Which in that case, again, with some of the spoilers, I don't know what she's gonna do. I do think that it's likely that Turner would still be the person to go, but I don't know. I really don't. At this point, it's just too hard to tell. But yeah, if it was endurance, I would definitely say she's probably got the win. If it's not, and it's a more strategic comp, Brittany still could pull the win out. Turner is a smart guy, but Brittany is quite intelligent herself, so she would at least have a fairly good chance. She would at least have a fairly good chance, I feel like, at beating Turner and Taylor. I don't think Taylor is again. I put her kind of in the same boat as Turner. I put her maybe a little bit higher both than Turner. At a strategic comp. Crazy Math is hanging on the rope, swinging around into the barricade is my guess. Veto will be a puzzle or a memory challenge. Yeah, either a memory challenge or one of those like I can't remember what type, and they had different versions of this. What I'm remembering most is from BB13, the final. I think no, that was part 2 of the final HOH. I'm mixing that up. I think. So yeah, I don't know. It probably is some type of like massive puzzle or a memory comp would be a good guess. Just there. Okay. Your ears, I know. Sorry. Oh, that's a little too much. There we go. But yeah, so. Sorry, I'm still working on a good setup that I like for having all this. We're actually, hopefully, this looks a little different tomorrow because I got something else coming, so I'm gonna try and make it spiffy up a little more. But yeah, so hanging on to the ropes. That is, I think, like that's the most common one for the part 1 of the final HOH. So if they're going to do endurance for that, they'll probably save that one for that. Into the yeah. Oh yeah, that's all the same. Yeah. Veto will be a puzzle memory. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. Usually, so I don't know. I don't know if any other satellite. Well, I guess not satellite, but any like streamer provider. So I have YouTube TV. That's what I watch the episodes on. For some reason, the last few episodes, I guess not a thumbnail, but for lack of a better term, thumbnail, they have had like clips, like just like still images from like past seasons. The last one really threw me off. I think Brittany Haynes was on there, and then tonight they had season 9's part 4 HOH comp, because back then they did that big circle. It was like a target, and then they had like the 3-wall divider in it, and they had 3 sections, and so you would have to stand on it, and it was like basically kind of like redoing the booth that we still use now, but they would have back then they had the booth, and then you would like have to put in like your true or false answer. So then the final 4 HOH, there was still just 3 people competing, and you would have they'd like step in the middle, and then you'd step backwards for true, forwards for false, or one or the other, and they had that still image. At least for for my episode tonight, that's the still image they had. From like when you go to click on it live. If you click on it after or before, it has like Big Brother. I think if you click on it after, it still shows like something from the new episode. I don't know, but at least live, I was like, that's really cool, because I was reading the names, and for some reason I had my head stuck on season 7. Because I don't know why. The last person I remember playing in that competition was Janelle. So I think there's been more since, but that's just the memory I have. So I was trying to figure out those names for a while, and then finally I was like, oh, that's like the Sharon kept throwing me off, and then I saw Adam, and I was like, who's Ryan? And I was like, oh crap, that's the old that's season 9, the final 4 from them. So that's the competition I would like to see. For the final 4, I would like us to be able to see who the winner is. And to be honest, I wouldn't put it past them to do that, because if they are trying to um, cram everything in, that could be a shorter form comp. It won't take as much for them to build. So I could definitely see them doing that for that aspect. Well, I still can't, because they want more exciting stuff, and I don't know why that's not exciting enough for them. I think that's plenty exciting, because we would have like the 4 shots. We'd have 4 quad cams. We'd have the top cam of all of them, then individual face cams, and we could see what they do. I think it's a great competition for that spot, and I wish they would do it again. And who knows? I just had a thought, because I was trying to rationalize that, and I'm like, okay, well then they might want to try and cram a little mini version of the anniversary episode. I'm calling it right now. Calling it right now. My calendar go. So not this Thursday, but next Thursday, Thursday the 22nd. That'll be the final. That'll take us to the final 3. So then Sunday is that next episode, the finale. I'm calling it right now. After Thursday's episode, the 23rd, we're going to get a bonus episode. And it's going to be the anniversary episode. I'm calling it right now. Mark my words. I guarantee you. 100%. 100%. I'm calling it now. Because they won't pass up on it. I don't know why. They love doing it. They love doing it, and then they're always like, we're going to give you a sneak peek of the part 1 of the HOH competition. I guarantee you. Because I'm not pulling this out of nowhere. They have done that before. I can't remember when. I want to say, I just recently thought of it. I want to say 18, like 17 or 18, they did that, where they basically were like, they were trying to push it out a little bit further, so they had to cut back a little bit. So they were like, well, we can only go to Sunday. We can't push it on beyond, so let's have a recap on a Friday. I can't remember when though. I feel like that was the last time the finale was on a Sunday. Okay, what Crazy Matt said, part 1 could be stand on the pole challenge, but oh yeah, okay. Hold something over your head. Part 2 will be a wall climb memory challenge. Part 1 could be that a different way of doing the endurance. It could be. I think, I'm not gonna lie, now that I had that thought, 8, whenever they did the anniversary episode on a Friday, no, it was more recent than that. They might have, like that. That's the type of stuff that I wouldn't remember all the way back from my childhood. I remember a lot about Big Brother from when I was a kid, but little details like that I wouldn't remember. But no, because I remember it recently. I'll look it up later and check it. It'd take me too long to find it now. But yeah, I do remember that at one point where they had like a special anniversary episode on Friday. But yeah, as far as that, they could do that. I think that'd be awesome. They don't switch it up enough like that anymore. I would love it if they did. That's the comp where we got Dick peeing himself because he was freezing so bad he tried to warm himself up. I do remember that specifically. I remember him talking about that. So that could be it. And then part 2 will be a wall climb memory challenge. Yeah, that could be the scenario. I still miss whenever they did like when I think of like part 2, the HOH, or like the last veto, I think of when they did like the memory, like they would shift the faces of like 2 house guests and make them try and guess which 2 faces those were. And that would be fun. I miss them doing that. Have they done that at all recently? Maybe they have. I feel like I remember them kind of doing that recently. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But yeah. So Robbie says just popping in to say hi. I'm just about to watch tonight's episode. Do they show the jury house? No, they don't show the jury house. I've heard that there is some crazy stuff going on in the jury house. Um, but I don't know how accurate it is. Uh, that they'll probably show that Thursday. They'll probably show that Thursday, and I would not be. If they do, be prepared because did they say something like in the outro or something, and I just missed it? Like the announcer, I'd be like, also see the jury because like I've heard that there's some stuff that's been going down, and I'm hoping that if it did, that we'll actually see it. But yes. All right. Okay. Where do we leave off? But thanks for stopping by to say hi. All right. But yeah, I like whenever Monty was like talking to, or Brittany was talking to Monty. She's trying to say like this is the type of stuff she should have been doing all along, and she just kind of rolled over and died, and was like, well, I like I like Michael so much, I'm gonna root for him, and then that kind of went south. Like she was already rooting for him before she was ever voted out, and you should only ever be rooting for yourself. You can think of, oh man, like if I don't get this, I sure would hope this person does, but she straight up said, I'm playing for second, and like she was in a really bad spot. I never really saw an out for her at that point, but yeah, I would never say that. Robbie says, yeah, I've heard that too. That's why I was wondering. Yeah. Have we ever had a jury member quit before after they went to jury? I can't remember that. I know we've had people that made it to jury that quit before they got there. But I don't think it's possible someone quit on the way before, but I don't remember anyone that's ever quit jury once they were in jury. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there was like a medical evac or something, but I cannot remember. I can't remember the last time, or if any, that we had someone quit in jury. I mean, there's been people that have threat to do it all the time. Just in All Stars, I think Janelle had made comments that she said if she doesn't get to take her baby, bring her baby into jury, that she was going to quit. I don't know the validity of that, so I don't remember hearing. I never heard it myself. I heard it through not even like a legit updater, but it was kind of like, well, maybe it was. Maybe it was. I can't remember, but I heard it passing. There are all kinds of people that have threatened to quit on the way in, but it doesn't usually happen. So it's pretty. That's really. There's a lot going on. Mona says, "Tell us." I don't know the details, to be honest. I mean, I can go look. And I can kind of read off what it was that we were hearing. Okay, give me a second. Let me go catch up because it was, I think, yesterday when I saw it. I'm looking for it. Don't worry. I'm looking for it. Is it further back on this? Oh no. Here we go. I think that's right around where I saw it last time. Okay, yeah. Okay. So, spoiler. Okay, so yes, just keep in mind this is coming from Spoiler Girl. I neither credit nor discredit her. The one thing I will say is that everything that I've read her say that had the opportunity to be proven true was. Now, what I will say this, and again, I know that everyone has different opinions over uh, different recappers and updaters. Taryn did make this point when I was watching a stream one time, just earlier this season, about Spoiler Girl, okay? And he said this, and it's 100% accurate. Even back when we had Vegas, back in 21, which if you don't know who Vegas was, it was someone on Twitter that apparently had an in production and said that she was like tweeting stuff out nonstop throughout the season. After season 21, whoever it was got found out. I think actually the person was in production themselves. So they got fired. This Spoiler Girl does not seem to be in production herself. She seems to have a source that's in production. But here's the thing. Some of this, like pretty much everything that Spoiler Girl, almost everything. There were some stuff that were missed, but the overwhelming majority of what Vegas said that was verifiable at the time was true. Like what was some behind the scenes stuff that was on the episodes, at least from what we could tell, right? At least from what the narrative that the episode was portraying. It was more like she was saying what the episode was going to reveal, and then just giving a little bit more details behind it, rather than like completely. It was almost like a preview, okay? More so than kind of lifting the veil. I mean, she did say a lot of stuff about production, saying this, production, saying that, hating on production a lot, and the point is, a lot of what she had been saying, not a lot, but some of what she had been saying was proven to be false. So just because it appears that everything someone like Spoiler Girl is saying, just because it appears that, some of the stuff that she's saying is true based on what we're getting in the edit, doesn't mean that everything she's saying is true. Okay, so I want to give that disclaimer out there. That's why I say I'm not discrediting her, or crediting her, nor discrediting her, because from everything that I've seen personally, that I've read, that she said, that I've been able to verify by watching feeds and the episode, has proven true. But just because that's the case does not mean that everything is. So that's the disclaimer I want to give there. Okay. So that being said, everyone that's wanting to know about the Twitter drama, or the drama that's being said on Twitter about jury is, and she had some other stuff going on too. So I can't really tell. I know she says I don't want to hurt. Okay, so I think she was trying to give a disclaimer. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but there was some stuff going on. So the juror that was in hot water, she said, because she was like, there was a juror in hot water, kind of teased it a little bit and said, I'll be back tomorrow if you guys be nice to me. And no, there was something going on, and I didn't catch all the details. But basically, if I feel like I want to share this with you tomorrow, then I will. But apparently, Indy made up a lie. This is quoting Spoiler Girl, quoting her source that's in production that has seen all this. Okay, so this is a lot of quoting, but quoting her, quoting Spoiler Girl, she said, Indy was in hot water. She made up a lie that Michael said something derogatory about Brazilians. She pissed production off so much that they decided to review all of the live feed footage, and they found nothing. She did it to make Michael look racist. Again, quoting Spoiler Girl on Twitter. This is being read right off her stuff. Indy was lying about the Brazilian comments before Michael arrived to jury. They are pissed at Indy, and they dislike her. There was a huge blow up with Michael and Terrence. Last thing Spoiler Girl, heard is Terrence is still in jury, but I'm clarifying with my source, but she hasn't got back to me yet. All she knows is it was described as ugly. She said they only reviewed the live feed footage because Indy pissed them off. Indy was called out by production for lying, and now she has been upset in jury. Spoiler Girl's source was mad about it. Hours of live feed footage only to never find one comment of Michael making a racial comment against Brazilians. She says, I'm waiting for more information. Her source keeps saying how crazy the jury is. And then she said, I told you all that the jury became anti-Michael after Kyle threw Michael under the bus. So everyone's anti-Michael. She says that they need more jury footage, or she says that even her source says that they need more jury footage because the jury is popping this year. Only a few members of production actually go to jury, and it was popping. So many messages. Oh, that's more for like whatever. So yeah, she says from the way my source described it, it is that they wanted to know more about what Michael knew. Kyle then shifted everything to blame Michael, and then the jury becomes anti-Michael. This is when Indy makes up her lie. Yeah, so from what it sounds like is that, from what's being quoted, is that the jury became anti-Michael after Kyle showed up, and that Indy then used that and then decided to turn that into, I guess she started convincing herself that that's what was the case, and then felt the need to try and make something about Michael to get him looking worse than he already did, because Michael did look pretty bad about that whole situation. I'm not saying he has arisen. I'm just saying it did not make him look good. The episode didn't. So I don't know that any of that's true. Even if it is, I don't know that we're even gonna get it. I mean, we might get like a watered down version of it, like extremely watered down, like getting a small Coke from McDonald's, like a small Coke from McDonald's, full of ice. That thing gets watered down in like 5 minutes, like watered down. I don't know that that is what happened. I don't know that that's what's going to get shown. Even if it did happen, and they don't show it on the episode, we'll never know for a fact. I mean, yes, we'll hear it after the fact, but that's still going to be influenced. That's going to be biased. So I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Let's catch up. Harvey says, I'm going to blast your channel on Twitter all day tomorrow and hopefully get some new viewers. Hey, that's awesome. If you can do that, by all means. And like I said, anyone wants to shout out, go right ahead. Like I said the other day, if you have anyone that likes to watch the show that doesn't really have, that doesn't really know about, kind of the extended community, send them over. Let them know. We love having new voices and new people to talk Big Brother about with. Oh, pause that. I don't want that. No, I'm trying to go with something. Okay, I'm singing too much of myself. Anyway, but yes, by all means, if you want to do that, I won't ask anyone to. But if you want to, well, I'm not going to say I won't ask anyone to. I will. I try and make myself sound more humble than I am. But yes, if you want to, go right ahead. It's much appreciated. And Mona says she agrees. Thank you, Mona, for that. Crazy says, if BB laid out every comp and twist plan for the whole season to the fans, not the house guests, then production would get less flack for possibly being correct. Let me read that again. If BB laid out every comp and twist plan for the whole season to the fans, not the house guests, then production would get less flack. Like every competition? So are you talking about like how Jeff Probst on Survivor lately has been like telling us how the competition works? Well, I guess that's how they've always done it. Like they explain to the house guests how the competition works, and then they explain it to the players and the house guests at the same time. The twist, I mean, I get what you're saying. For what I believe Crazy Matt is saying is that with the way production works, we don't know what the plans are. halfway through the season, it's potentially, or there's the possibility of production changing things halfway through, altering competitions, altering twists to benefit other players. And even if it's not, there's no way to prove that they don't. I mean, we can't prove that they did. Well, there might be. You might, if there were actual investigations, I'm sure you'd be able to prove more that they did than they didn't. But you can't prove, or didn't that they did. But you can't prove that they did, and you can't prove that they didn't. But there's still the option of mystery. Whereas if they told us like how all the twists are going to end up in the next, or I guess the entire season, then that would actually give us the ability to hold them accountable for that. But I don't see that working logistically. I don't know how they would do that. But who knows? Mona says, good point. And I don't want to disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. I just don't know how they would do that and actually make it look. I don't know how they would present that. But I don't disagree that we could at least we would know where their head's at. We would know for sure that there isn't any altering or anything. And then Mona says, good point. They cast poorly, a bunch of fools. And Mona says, has anyone previewed the Survivor cast? I have not yet. I was trying to decide if we wanted to do that on a stream. When does Survivor premiere? Does anyone know? I'm not going to look it up. I'm sure you guys know. I'll look it up. Who am I kidding? I got to start grabbing up some. But we'll check this out real quick. 43 premiere is the 21st. Okay, so that is a week from tonight. Okay, I don't know if I can. I will see if it's possible. I'll see if I could maybe try and do a preview stream. If I did, it'd be like midday. It'd be over the weekend. It'd be like midday. I don't know if we will. We'll see. We'll try and get something up. But I haven't looked over them yet because I kind of want to do it with the stream. I didn't realize it was coming up so quick. That's my bad. That's on me, dog. That's on me. I should have been checking. Should have been paying more attention. I thought it was starting the week after because they go back and forth sometimes where they do it. I prefer when they do it this way. I like when they overlap because I like to get that taste of okay, before we have to say goodbye to Big Brother, we can say hello to Survivor and get started on that, and then not, be like, okay, now after this, now we can prepare for the finale, but now we go back to Survivor already knowing what we're getting into, Because I feel like with Survivor, whenever it's the right after Big Brother is, you're kind of still feeling somber about, oh, Big Brother's over, but, I like it when they preview. Anyway, whatever. So I do prefer it this way. From a streaming aspect, it would have been easier if they didn't. But yeah, we might try and preview it if I can make time. Don't quote me on that at all. But we might just do something real simple and basic. Maybe just go for an hour and just kind of read the bios and check everyone out. So if we do, be on the lookout. Well, don't be on the lookout. Just be aware that it's possible. I'll try. But yeah, and then Mona said if they cast decent players, Survivor is great. Oh yeah. That pretty much just their casting needs to get better overall. And then Crazy Man says no. I mean like a itinerary. Like we know what each comp is happening for a specific week, and also like a comp coup d'etat is happening on a certain week. Yeah, again, I don't disagree, and I think that would be nice to have. I would like having that. I don't see that happening, but I would like to see it. So yeah. All right, guys. Robbie says I'm going to watch show now. See y'all tomorrow. Yep. See you later, Robbie. I think we are all going to head off now too. We've been going for about an hour and a half now. So Thank you everyone that stopped by the stream tonight. Get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be fun. We'll see what happens. It's not gonna be super like exciting, but we'll still have fun. And I mean, honestly, what I'm looking forward to the most tomorrow, completely honestly, is getting at least the schedule for the next week. And we might even get the full term schedule. We might even get to Julie like, okay, so Finale's happening in about a week and a half, so we need to wrap you guys up and tell you what to plan for so you can block out the next week and a half of your time. And then just kind of give us the rundown. They've done that before. They can definitely do that. So I'm hoping we get that. That's honestly what I'm looking forward to most tomorrow. I'm excited to see who wins HOH because Monty won't qualify, and if Taylor does stay and she sides with, that's the other thing is I want to know more of what's going on in Taylor's head. I want to know more about that and see where she's at from her mindset because I want to figure out what she's planning on doing if she gets to the end. I need to know, and currently I don't. But anyway, so I'm excited for tomorrow, and we're gonna have a great stream tomorrow, and hopefully you guys are all able to show up for that as well. If you like the stream, really mean a lot if you hit that like button. Definitely helps us out a lot. And if you're new here and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We try and go live about 15 to 30 minutes after each episode to try and recap, and we're coming up on the home stretch now. So we got a lot coming up, and if you like Survivor, stick around because we will be covering Survivor this season as well. Guys, like I said, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn your notification bell on because as soon as I hit live, it'll notify you guys because I know sometimes you guys mention that you miss whenever the stream starts because I try and get on it on time. I don't always make it, but hit that notification bell because as soon as I hit go live, it'll tell you guys. Even when it's just like the preview screen, not the waiting screen like the YouTube waiting screen, but when I put mine up that I control, it'll still bring you guys to that, and you guys kind of hang out and get ready. Guys, and then if you haven't already, follow me at DatChat on Twitter. If I ever need to send you guys any updates or anything, that's where I send them to for now until I can get to access to community tab. Alright guys, we will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining tonight's stream. It means a lot to me that you guys have been sticking around, a lot of you since the beginning. So thank you guys so much, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.